Back with the PIA and RIOT blade for the Inquisitor. Another nice thing about these are they are different colored boards. So the PIA one's purple and the sticker for that PIC is purple as well. And this one's color coded as well. So that's nice if you're trying to put a couple of these blades together at the same time. So now that this new one is in, it's just on a riser edge connector there. And then again, we can turn it on. It'll identify which blade we have in there. And then we can put in a good one to start. Again, the pin number 1 is bottom left, so make sure it's scooted all the way up. I guess this is a 40-pin ZIF socket, so there's no scooting there. Just make sure it's oriented correctly. And then you can select 6821 is what I have. This would be for the RIOT. And then the flip LEDs. I don't know what that is. But here we can go and test the PIA. Every time we get a star here, it's testing all the different ports. That means that it's good. So we want to see a little star or asterisk. If it's a bad port, it'll have an exclamation point and report it as bad. And again, this goes green when we know that it's good. And then during the test, it'll be orange. And then if it was bad, it would report the LED as being red. You also have a power LED up here on the vertical blade too, to make sure that power is getting there. There are other troubleshooting LEDs down here. Card error means that your blade isn't in. There's an error on the blade, and then the 12 volts being too high is the other indicator there. So that's a good PIA. And you can test your 6821s, obviously. 6820s would test exactly the same as well. But then the new PIAs from Westinghouse, I think I have that part number here. The new ones from Westinghouse would test exactly the same. And we miss you, Ed, at Great Plains, which you're still in business, but I grabbed these before you closed. The 65C21s would test the same as a 6821. Now this is a brand new 68 PIA that came from Bob Roberts, and I think this one had one bad port on it, and I think it was the first one. Now it's going to test good, I bet. Once the camera's rolling, it's going to test good. But I think I've tested this a couple times, and that's why I put the X on there. I think the first one came up bad every now and then. So this one's kind of marginal. I'll probably put that in the maybe pile. I guess if I can't get it to go off again, maybe just reseat it in the socket. And again, if you're testing used chips, and you have super crusty legs, sometimes that would be enough to throw at a bad test. Maybe this one's fine. Maybe I've been putting a check mark on the good ones and X on the bad ones. I'll put a question mark on this one. The most confusing diagnosis is the maybe in electronics, so that'll probably be, I'll keep this chip as a source of future headaches. But then I have one that I know for sure is bad. Again, this is an old original one. Make sure it notches up there, and then again, exclamation point means it's bad, and I want to say that every single port on this one tested as bad. So this is probably a very, very damaged chip. I got over voltaged somehow, and that reads as bad. And then it's hard to see with the camera on because of the light, but that's showing as red. And then I don't have any spare RIOTs to test, but certainly could. I probably have some part Gottlieb MPUs somewhere that I could test these, but pretty much the same, an I/O chip, but Gottlieb used those versus the PIAs that Bally and Williams used. I don't know what this is. I'll have to look into that. But again, kind of a neat little tester. It's a kit you can build yourself, save a little bit of money, but I think it's a really useful tool, especially when you're trying to troubleshoot something, because nowadays fake chips and counterfeit chips are rampant, and it's really frustrating to diagnose a bad chip to then replace it and have to install a new one only to find out that the new one was bad. So having a tool like this can kind of help save a little bit of that headache of knowing if you're replacing bad parts with bad parts or if you're replacing bad parts with good parts. So hopefully this helps you out.